students, how are you? I hope that all of you are well and good. Students, today I am going to discuss with you a few important questions from the book Snapshot, class 11th. Our chapter name is The Address. So students, let's start. Why did the narrator go to number 46 Marconi Street? The answer, this was the address of the woman who carried their valuables from her home for safety during wartime. So the narrator went there to claim the belonging of her mother. Now, next question. How does Mrs. Dorling react when the narrator said, I am Mrs. S. daughter? Answer, Mrs. Dorling held her hand on the door as if she wanted to prevent it opening any further. Her face showed no sign of recognition. She kept staring at the narrator without uttering a word. Now, next question. Her face gave absolutely no sign of recognition. Do you think the woman didn't recognize the narrator? Or she was merely pretending? Give reasons for your answer. Answer, obviously the woman was pretending that she didn't recognize the narrator. As soon as she realized that she has been found out, she said, have you come back? I thought that no one had come back. Now, next question. How did the woman try to avoid the narrator? Answer. First, the woman refused to recognize the narrator. When she realized that she had been found out, she regretted that she couldn't do anything for the narrator. Then she asked the narrator to come another time. She gave the impression that there was someone in the house whom she didn't want to disturb. Next question. What are the two reasons did the narrator give to explain that she was mistaken? Answer. She thought that perhaps the woman was not Mrs. Dorling. She had seen her only once for a brief interval, and that many years ago. Secondly, it was probable that she had rung the wrong bell. Next question. How was the narrator convinced that she had made no mistake and had reached the right address? Answer. When the woman who opened the door gave no sign of recognition, the narrator thought that she was perhaps mistaken and had rung the wrong bell. When she saw the woman wearing her mother's green knitted cardigan, she was convinced that she had made no mistake and reached the right address. The next question. Who had given the narrator the address? When and under what circumstance? Answer. The narrator's mother had given her the address years ago during the first half of the war. The narrator came home for a few days and missed various things in the room. Then her mother told her about Mrs. Dorling and gave her the address. How do you know that there was someone in the house? What did she ask? How did the woman respond? When the narrator was still on the steps, someone started at her from the bay window. She asked what the visitor wanted. The woman replied that it was nothing. What did the narrator learn about Mrs. Dorling from her mother? Mrs. Dorling was an old acquaintance of the narrator's mother. The latter had not seen her for several years. Then she suddenly turned up and renewed their contact. Whenever she would leave that place, she took something from her table, silver, antique plates, etc. Now, next question. What reason did Mrs. Dorling give for taking away the precious belongings of the narrator's mother? Answer. Mrs. Dorling suggested to the narrator's mother that she should store her belongings at a safer place. She wanted to save all her nice things. She explained that they would lose everything if they have to leave the place. Now, next question. What did the narrator notice when she came back home for a few days during war? What was her immediate reaction when the narrator came back home for a few days during war? She noticed that something or the other about the rooms had changed. She was surprised to see that various things were missing. Now, next question. Who was Mrs. Dorling? What did the narrator's mother tell her about the woman? Answer. Mrs. Dorling was an old acquaintance of the narrator's mother, whom she had not seen for years. She had recently renewed their contact. Since then, she has been visiting their house regularly. Every time she left their house, she took something home with her. Next question. Did the narrator feel convinced about the views of her mother regarding Mrs. Dorling? How do you know? Answer. The narrator did not feel convinced about her mother's concern for Mrs. Dorling. The latter was keen on removing the precious possessions of the narrator's mother to her house. It seems that the narrator too did not like Mrs. Dorling's excessive interest in her mother's belongings. It is evident from the question she puts to her mother. Why didn't the narrator pay much attention to the things around while walking to the station? Answer. While walking to the station, the narrator didn't pay attention to things around because she did not want to upset herself with the sights of streets and houses which were full of memories from her former life. Next question. Why did the narrator feel the urge to see her mother's belongings? Answer. The war was over. Gradually, things became normal again. One day, the narrator felt an urge to see her mother's belongings, which she thought must still be at house number 46 in Marconi Street. She wanted to see those things and feel them. Now, next question. What did the narrator see as followed the girl along the passage? As the narrator followed the girl along the passage, she saw an old-fashioned iron and student. So I must complete this video, and in the next video I will discuss with you a few more questions. Thank you very much for listening and watching.